Good morning. It is 10:07 on the East Coast. Boogie with the Bull. Monday morning caffeine is live on a device near you. I'm Dave Globin. Randy Rhodes is not with us this morning. He's not feeling well. We sent a invite out to William Rayfield, the Patriots Lab, and hopefully he will come and join us. If not, we'll just do it on a wing and a prayer this morning. The Boogie with the Bull live chat on the Dave Globin profile is now open. Come join me and or say something exciting that everybody else doesn't know. And maybe even tell us about what happened over your weekend this morning. That's the link if you want to join the broadcast, StreamYard.com, EYJR75NMNG. It's there on your screen. And copy that, and it will bring you into the studio. Only rule is that you don't do anything to embarrass yourself. If you do, then you get booted, and maybe we try to bring on somebody else. Good morning. Don Los is watching in the Boogie with the Bull live chat on the Dave Global profile over here on Facebook. We're also on the Boogie with the Bull page here on Facebook. And we are over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. So like I said, I'm kind of winging it a little this morning. Randy usually has the genealogy talk of the day, sometimes has some new stuff to talk about. And I didn't get a moment to try to do that. I overslept a little bit myself, too. I was supposed to be up at 8 o'clock. I think I wandered over to my desk about 9:45, set this thing up, and decided we were going to do it. So we'll do our best. What did you do over the weekend? Anything exciting? How's your weather where you are? Ours is kind of cloudy today. Let me see if I can call it up on here and see it displayed. I'm not getting it. Hold on. Of course, everything's going to go wrong. There it is. It says rain, and rain starts in. I always like how you look at your phone and it says rain will start in 2 minutes. And it actually does, in fact, start in those 2 minutes. But it said rain starting in 2 hours and 59 minutes. So you have a little bit of a reprieve. 78 degrees outside under partly cloudy skies. Didn't give me a wind update, but that's where we are. And I was told that we were going to get rain all week this week here in beautiful Fleming Island, Florida. So I hope it's just a typical Florida week of rain where it rains every day exactly at 4 o'clock, and at 4:15 it's done and the sun's out and it's beautiful for the rest of the day into the evening. I don't know if that happens where you are. William Rayfield is watching. He's watching. He's more than welcome to come on and join me this morning. And if there's not much to talk about this morning, we'll end a little early and dismiss class, and you can go about your day. And we'll come back Wednesday and do it again. Sometimes you just get caught without anything to say other than drinking a cup of coffee and taking a look at the world. Don Lowe says he is in Florida. I didn't know that, Don. And it was hot most of the weekend. It was in the 90s on Friday. I don't know what it was Saturday and Sunday. Here where we are up in the North Florida in Clay County, it wasn't very hot yesterday. We were out yesterday, Donna and I, for a little bit on Mother's Day. doing some shopping. She got a Joann's gift card from our son and daughter-in-law and grandson that we live with. So, of course, that had to be traded for yard that was on sale. And then we went and had lunch at Orange Buffet in Orange Park, and came home and just spent the rest of the day. I played on Facebook. Donna did a lot of crocheting. There are 2 upcoming craft shows this weekend. One is in Green Cove, and I don't have that information in front of me, but I will make sure I have it and we can plug it. The other one is at Karate America on Blanding it's either listed as Middleburg or Orange Park. It's on the border. But if you go down or up Blanding to College Drive, College Road, whatever they call it, it's College. It's a road or a drive, I don't know. But it's the street that St. John State University is on. But if you take Blanding to College, you're looking at the Publix Plaza, and in the Publix Plaza, there is Karate America. If you go in at the light at College, Publix will be on your left, and if you look to your right, there is a haircut place, and next to that, I think, is a UPS place, and next to that is Karate America, and next to that is the parking lot on the side of the building. And I believe that is where the craft fair will be located there. And a whole lot of fun. I got more information on it. I'll give you later. If you go to Donna's Family Treasures Facebook page, it has a white and different colored chicken crocheted logo. If you go to that page, you can find all kinds of information, the products that they're going to have there, some of the special orders that they've done and have on display there. And you can also special order your own fantastic plushies or loveys or just about everything. Anything that you can think of that can be crocheted. Donna and Angela can crochet for you. For Memorial Day, I understand that Angela made a red, white, and blue cat. I'm looking to see that and possibly get my hands on one of them. And Donna made a blue and yellow dragon, and you just have to see this thing. It is definitely a work of art. The dragon itself is probably 2 feet tall. The tail is probably 2 feet, if not longer, and looks awesome. And if you go to the Family Treasures Facebook page, as I said, you will see pictures of it because Donna took pictures yesterday on my desk chair with a black background, and the pictures looked really cool. So go to the Family Treasures Facebook page. If you can't find it, get a hold of me, and I'll get you a link. And that will send you right to the page. And if you are in the area of Blanding Boulevard and College Road, please stop in and see them. And I'll let you know exactly where we're going to be in College. Exactly where we're going to be in Green Cove, Florida. Donna and I give you that information. And if you're in that area, please stop by and say hello to Donna and meet Family Treasures as well. Good morning, David Novar, Dr. David Novar, computer technician, our advisor to Boogie with the Bull when the problems happen live on the air. David is either the one who heard them and has figured out a fix or has willingly allowed us to question him to death and get the best possible answers that we can get. Don says he is in Broward. It's pretty hot. Yeah, I understand down in that area, it is pretty hard down in Broward County, Miami-Dade, down in those areas. Orlando, it tends to get much hotter than it does up here Also, you're closer to the water than we are. We're kind of landlocked here in beautiful Fleming Island. Uh, so I'm sure it does get very hot down there. West Palm Beach, I'm sure it can be very hot standing outside of Mar-a-Lago waiting to catch a glimpse of Donald Trump or meet the president as he is going in and out of his home at Mar-a-Lago. But I'm sure if you stick around long enough, you will, in fact, get an opportunity to meet the president. I'm sure you will. If I was president, I'd probably spend a lot of time coming outside every morning with pots of coffee and sodas and, I don't know, donuts. Since Randy's not here this morning, we don't have white powdered chocolate-filled donuts that are so big when you bite into them, they explode all over your face. Randy was promising me one this big this morning. I mean, a white powdered donut that big filled with chocolate icing or pudding, filling, whatever you want. 35 minutes from Mar-a-Lago, Don says. That's a great area to be in, except for, I'm sure, during the summer when it's tourist season down in that area and everybody is in your way down there. But even then, I'm sure it's not too bad. I don't know if the college kids still come to Miami-Dade and Orlando or to Disney World anymore. Disneyland anymore. I don't know if much people go to Disney World anymore. I know that I keep bothering Donna and saying that one of these days we have to go because I grew up about 30 minutes away from Disneyland and went there so many times that if someone says it's a small world, I hear that song and can't get it out of my head until somebody says something else. So if you take your family to Disney World or Disneyland and both have a small world and you have to take people on It's a Small World, make sure you do it first and then you go ride every other ride you can or every other booth you can go to, including the how many sledgehammers does it take to get that thought out of your head. No, I'm teasing about that. They're rubber melts, so you won't get hurt if you go there. Popping into the Boogie with the Bull studios right now, William Rayfield, the host of the Patriots Lab. It's always a pleasure to have him and those watching on the Patriots Lab network, watching us and being part of the Boogie with the Bull live chat. So if any of you are watching, please feel free to post your comments and either William or I or William and I will make sure that your testimony this morning is heard loud and clear. On that note, good morning, Mr. Williams. What do you have to say?
Good morning, Dave. I'm just tuning up with the Patriots Lab here. How are you?
I'm okay. I sat down and I knew when I sat down at about 1:15 to get this set up and going today, I'm taking a quick look at probably the worst news service on the internet, Google News. And, you know, as far as Joe Biden goes, there isn't anything to tell you that America doesn't already know. So it's not worth insulting your intelligence. As far as Meta goes, nobody really cares about some of the things that they're investing in. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile's unlimited plans are fighting to be number one. I don't care. I have straight talk. So, I mean, it's the same news if you look at Google News or your favorite browser news this morning. So it's not worth grabbing any one thing out. Joe Biden is still the president. I don't think he should be. If the talk about him actually signing over sovereignty of the United States of America to the World Health Organization was just talk and not something that he's planning to do, although people are telling me that it is something that he is planning to do. It may have already been done. I don't know. But just for the mere thought of taking our sovereignty and signing it over to someone outside of the country in a way that may not allow the next president or even Congress to step up and say, no, he didn't have the right to do that.
Right.
So, just for the thought of it, if it could be proven that he had the thought of this and he worked the plan and did it, then that dementia excuse gets flushed down the toilet. And as far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden needs to stand before the judges of America, the American citizens who actually have the legal right to vote in this country, and be removed. And then once he is removed, prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But like I said, it's repeat all that same stuff today, and sometimes everybody doesn't want to hear that same stuff. So don't take it the wrong way, William. I'm looking to see if you brought me that tidbit of news information that I don't have today, might have missed all weekend.
I always do. I know
you do. I know you do.
You can do me okay, you got the link up there. Real quick, good morning, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. You are with Boogie with the Bull, Dave Glavin, and the Patriots Lab Uncensored. This morning, I want to welcome everybody into the lab as we collab for a morning coffee. Monday. What a great day. What a great day. Yeah, hey, how come your cup is bigger than mine?
That is the first thermal cup that I bought. It's a 24-ounce thermal cup, and I used it in the car when I was actually driving for a living. So it was necessary to have 24 ounces of coffee, either ice or cold, in the car at all times.
I hear you. Hey, take that link down for me real quick.
Take that link down really fast so people
jump into the chat. Not saying y'all aren't welcome, but you get kind of weird a little bit, especially when I get linked on, because we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch,
everywhere,
and not X this morning. But I will get those on there. It costs money, as Dave knows.
Actually, it costs money, but if you have an X account, you can link and you got a YouTube account. A tweet on X in the tweet news feed, and it goes through. The only problem I will tell people is what I'm experiencing after about 6 months of doing it is that because the average broadcast is an hour to an hour and a half, we're lucky if we get 4, maybe 5 retweets every once in a while. So,
right.
Twitch is going to be the hardest one for me to break. Twitter is going to be the hardest one to break into, because you're right. It does cost money. And if you really want to be followed and recognized on X, you need to get into Twitter Space like you may have been or hopefully still are. But yes, it does cost money. And I believe it's more than the $11 a month. They're saying that it costs. For $11 a month, I can live stream direct to probably my at Boogie WT Bull profile. But I'm not yet convinced that $11 is money well spent. I am convinced that the $10 a month for Rumble is a good idea to spend. But I'm also hearing that a lot of my friends who are on Rumble are either cutting back their broadcasts or just not broadcasting at all on there anymore.
Well, I mean, if you link it to YouTube, you ain't got to worry about the hassle of
Right.
wondering if
Yeah.
you're there or not. It's automatically connected. Right now, my goal right now is to get certified, and that costs money. So I'm trying to get. My goal for the next 2 months is to get check marked next to everything. Get that blue check mark so they'll know it's actually me. I
Are
just
you
started
gonna
looking
do?
into it.
Are you gonna do that here on Facebook, or are
Hmm.
you just gonna get the
On all
blue
the
check
platforms. I
everywhere
mean, it
else?
all costs money, but I figure I
Yeah.
might as well go get check marked. It's just another way of saying that I'm legit
Yeah.
for the
I'm
platforms, I guess.
I'm not too concerned about it on X, only because I don't think I'm big enough on X, even with the followers and just retweeting everybody that I do, and even writing my own tweets every once in a while that are actual and factual. Um, I don't think I warrant anybody else trying to mimic Boogie with the Bull on X at this time. But then again, just because I say that, I'll log on and an hour after this broadcast, there'll be 500 different at Boogie WT Bull somethings. And they always do say that imitation is the highest form of flattery.
That's right.
But
That's right. That's
but
right.
but and then it would be fun. Then it would be fun to be on there and do a little bit of social media battle with the wannabes and the original. Uh, but
All right. Well, you know why I come on here. Let's get into some actual and
That's right.
factual.
Let's get into some actual and factual
So
because it's the
it,
it's the
it, it
weekend.
seems it seems that our guy went to Wildwood, New Jersey. He went into the heart of blue country. He went into Democratic led territory. Well, actually, he won the county that he was actually in. But that's neither here nor there. The man had, they say it was over 100,000 people on the beach.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I heard
It
that 80,000 of them were there so much in advance to make sure that they in fact got in.
this had to
Uh,
be this had to be one of the most epic scenes. You would have thought there was a rock concert going on
there was
out there.
Brother Trump and his traveling red hat man came and rocked that place like it's probably never been rocked before.
And this is the thing. This man can get an estimated 100,000 plus people to come listen to him talk for 65 minutes. This man can have almost 10,000 people 24 hours before he's speaking for 65 minutes. Wow.
And on top of that, the people that traveled from the people in that 80, 100,000 people that traveled from all over the United States, hoping that maybe they were going to catch one of those red, white MAGA hats that he threw out.
To see the masses. That's when you know we're just living in a country that's just ass backwards right now. When you literally have a portion of American media, which they call the mainstream media,
media,
would rather come out and nitpick the things that Trump said rather than show the actual and factual on how many thousands of Americans in the state of New Jersey, a blue state, well, allegedly, a blue state, came out in support of this man. but everybody says it best. See, it's not for the mere fact that they love Donald Trump. These are basic, ordinary Americans saying we're tired and fed up with what we're seeing taking place here and now.
Very true.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yep.
That's all it is. And it's crazy because, see, when you have a media and you have a liberal side that rather than ask the thousands and thousands of people why they're supporting Donald Trump rather than demonize us automatically, see, that's when you know they don't even care. They're not even coming. Well, why do you support Donald Trump? That is not the question they want to ask because they don't want the answer to it. So they rather just call us insurrectionists, people that's a detriment to society, to democracy. They rather label us every evil, bad name in the book than have a genuine conversation on why we believe what we believe, why we believe, and how we, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But we got to talk about it.
Yeah, let me just jump through for a second. Mike Grant sent me about an hour and a half of video that he made 2 weekends ago down in Yuma, Arizona. I did get to watch a good portion of it, Mike. Unfortunately, my night meds knocked me out before I finished a lot of things. So I believe I watched about half of it. I posted it in the Hardcore Conservatives group and in Red Patriots for America. I will get it slammed into the other 7 of our groups. I will get it slammed all over Facebook. I will get it slammed all over other social media if I can. It's just stuff that people need to see. And to me, the first clip that you sent me, Mike, made it look like people were just walking around the unsecured parts of the border, coming into a secured area and just turning themselves in, not even fighting it. And it just seems that we just need to do something. We need to do something quick. I'm sorry I cut you off, William. Go ahead.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, while and this is their strategy. This is the Democratic playbook strategy. To always keep us sidetracked and focused on one issue to another issue. There's so many people that are now focusing on the trials that are taking place with Trump and this and that. They've lost focus on what's going on at the border. Just because people aren't shining light on what's going on at the border doesn't mean it stopped. It's still going on, and the people are still coming over here by the thousands. It's just they've overflooded the system, and when I say overflooded the system in which we have the capabilities of keeping track with everything that's going on. They're doing too much, and the American people have been normalized to what's going on. They act like it's nothing. They turn themselves in because it's catch and release. Yeah, it's catch and release.
Yep.
Yeah, it's catch and release. They know they're not going to get sent back to their country. So, I mean, and this is the same open door policy that they've had, that they're going to continue to have until this administration is gone. Because they want this to happen. They're not doing nothing about it. There's no change. they've been talking to some people. Some people would say they've been talking a good talk. But see, there comes eventually when you got to start walking the walk after you talk, and they haven't taken the first step in anything that they've said that they was going to try to do. If anything, everything has gotten worse. And that's why the American people have had enough. It's not about Donald Trump. I mean, it's about really saving America. And Donald Trump just happens to be along in that process. Um, it's crazy what this man is going through. And now we got Michael Cohen, the bombshell witness, which is really a dud. You know, Trump is going to get acquitted. He's going to get acquitted. I mean, there is no way that the two attorneys that's on this jury pool is going to be able to justify why they would vote Donald Trump being guilty. These are attorneys. They also have an ethical code, a legal obligation, and there hasn't been a stretch of evidence. The only thing they've done is expose the alleged sexual relationship in explicitity with Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels. Because Michael Cohen isn't going to come and say nothing that he hasn't already said and then unsaid and then said again and then unsaid. So only thing he's going to do is say something that he said, that he unsaid, that he said. He's just going to come back and say it again. That's all. We haven't been around this train. So,
It just seems a lot of times that the Democrats think they need to one-up the Republicans. So Trump has an affair with Stormy Daniels or some kind of relationship with Stormy Daniels and gets caught. Joe Biden, on the other hand, gets caught in Ashley Biden's diary telling America that Daddy Dearest showered with me all the time. Who do you think, honestly, America, based on those two sentences that I just said, is more likely to vote for president? A man who had an affair with his wife, with a lady, while he was married, while every other president before him and probably every other president after him will have an affair with while they're married, and Joe Biden married his affair. The kid's nanny, he married her. So
hey,
it's just
good morning, Mary Penn. Good morning, Billy Joe.
Stop trashing Trump and just get rid of Biden.
Yeah, because it's getting hard to keep finding stuff to talk about with this stuff because it's just a merry-go-round that keeps going around. Yeah. It's one of them rides you just want to. It's like, dude, you're either gonna stop this ride or I'm gonna jump off. Right. It's like it's a never-ending. I guess they figure if they feed it to us long enough, they'll be able to convince us that it's actually true. But if you listen to all of the legal scholars that are out there, even it's gotten to the point where Fareed Zakaria, my Indian brother, who hates Trump, has finally had to concede and say, listen, you guys are doing too much. If his name wasn't Trump, none of this. Fareed Zakaria, one of the biggest Trump-hating critics of all time. See, people can only stomach a lie but for so much. Yeah. You can only do it but for so much.
It's been a 3 years, I like to call things a lot. It's been a 3-year bully with the bullshit for the Democrats. and the bullshit, or bull excrement, as I call it, is finally starting to reach up to the thin oscillating blades above our heads and is clearly raining down on us. And even worse than you can think, any chemtrail is raining down on us, which they shouldn't be doing anyway. But, almost to the point, like I keep saying, if you haven't opened your eyes by now and realized it, it's probably too late.
Gary,
I say that, but William may not, Randy may not, Bill Muckler may not, Jen may not. Everybody has a different opinion as to where we are right now. But my thing is that if you don't do something to protect your right to vote starting right now, regardless of what party you are and who you're going to vote for in the November election, there may not be any more November elections.
Bro, if the election lines are anything like the lines were to get in the wildwood to see for, bro, this is Donald Trump is up 12 points in Nevada.
Yep.
12 points. He's up in 5 of the 6 battleground states, 3 of them by double digits. It's and like my man said, they want to do nothing less but give Donald Trump credit.
Yep.
So even the numbers that they give us, you got to really understand they still might be padding those numbers. But they got to give it to us because when something is so overwhelming, there's nothing you can do. That's why.
Well, Donald Trump said it himself in the 2016 election against Madam Clinton that if you have enough money, you can buy a poll that says whatever the best results you want it to say. Joe Biden tried to hint upon, actually, I should say tried to say it. He plagiarized it worse than it was, because if it had been a press conference, every reporter in the room would have said, "Is that what you're doing? Are you paying pollsters who poll Democrats to pad numbers beyond the scope of reality?" And I don't know what his reaction would have been if Jean-Claude Dampierre was running the press conference. She'd just do her classic move of closing the binder, turning around, and saying goodbye.
Can you imagine seeing the election lines this time? Everybody with their Trump shit on. I'm gonna love to see. And yeah, you got the mail-in ballots and all this shit. But look, listen, Linda. Y'all know how I love to say that. But before I say that, y'all make sure y'all.
I got too many people that watch that are named Linda, so I have to be careful if I say
y'all make
that.
sure y'all like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so y'all get them instant notifications for Boogie with the Bull and the Patriot Lab Uncensored.
Ring that bell. Ring that bell.
But like I was saying, Linda, listen, Linda. I forgot my old lady. I'm only on my first cup of coffee this morning. That's why I did.
So you got to get a cup that holds 3.
I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about the polls and how it sounded for a second like you were saying maybe President Trump is padding things just a little. But what I got out of that was, if he's padding things just a little.
No, not him. They are.
Okay, well, they're trying to pad things then to get you to realize that Biden is really that far ahead. I was going to say that far behind. If Trump is doing any padding on his side, it might be very minor, just to make sure that what you see slaps you across the face, and he's 47 points in front of Joe Biden. So he obviously is the right person for the job, and Joe Biden is not.
Yeah, this is going to be I predict it's going to be a landslide because see, no matter what they do, the American people are going to come out in droves. This man got 100,000 people to come out in New Jersey. He only got estimated 25,000 5 years ago. You do the math. Wow. Man. See, give Americans an opportunity to speak and they realize that they're not by themselves, they come out in the masses. They come out in the masses.
Yeah.
They come out in the masses.
And
see,
start seeing
they understand. I haven't seen Donald Trump go nowhere and people boo him.
No.
And this man goes out into his people, which is everybody. No matter where it is, red state, blue state, it don't matter. He is greeted with open arms and love. And now Joe Biden, on the other hand, Papa, he can't even go where his own people are. Because now they don't even want to have nothing to do with it. Wow.
I heard a rumor
that has managed to get the Republicans and the Democrats to hate him.
Right. I heard rumors that supposedly Biden was going to his own rallies and events and hearing people yell, "Let's go, Brandon," and supposedly said something to Dr. Jill questioning, is his name Brandon?
Oh, I don't know. He could have. He got that. He got that. Sometimers, old timers kicking in. So I don't know what level he's on.
There was a meme that someone put up recently, and I can't find it. I downloaded it on one of my devices, but I used a bunch of different devices over the weekend, and I can't find it. It was a billboard from Dr. Jill asking people to stop saying, "Let's go, Brandon," because he now thinks his real name is Brandon.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a real billboard, but it was a picture
of a billboard. Anybody? Yeah, if it was a billboard.
It looked like a real billboard. So, someone could have put up a digital billboard of it and took a picture of it and then changed it back to whatever it was supposed to be. But he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. I even heard another strange rumor over the weekend that supposedly the Democrats would agree to a Democrat-Republican debate with President Trump, as long as on the Democrat side it was tag team between Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. So Barack Obama could go in and speak, and when Trump finally stopped him on the floor and he couldn't do anymore, he could tag and Bill Clinton could come in. And then the same thing, when Bubba couldn't handle it anymore, he could tag out and Barry could come back in. And I almost thought for a moment that would be the most hilarious campaign debate in the history of debates.
Right.
Because all Trump would have to do would be to say something to Barry to tick him off. He'd get so upset, he'd miss, he'd hit the floor, he'd have to tag out. Bubba would come in, he'd have to say something about Bubba's wife. That would piss off Bubba. Barry would have to come back in. Bubba would come back in. He'd say something about the true father of Chelsea Clinton. He'd have to tag out, and it would almost be, I think it would almost be as entertaining as a Biden-Trump debate as Clint Eastwood interviewing Barack Obama's empty chair. You have to see it. It's classic. I thought he repeated it at a convention or someplace where he was recently. But I don't think it was done recently. Clint's in his 90s and still running around and making movies, and you hear about all the non-woke movie studio deals. Mr. Eastwood has his own deal going with a bunch of non-woke people, and I hope it's big. I think he is in one with Mel Gibson, who evidently started this whole non-woke studio need all of a sudden. But just very interesting. Very interesting. And you only see it on Facebook. You don't see it anywhere else. Sometimes you see it on X, but you don't really see this crap other than on the home of election manipulation 2024 Facebook.
Right. So you know what else is interesting? It's funny because the United States likes to say, we're not at war, when we are actually at war. And people need to understand that. If you are, if you have the power to manipulate and control a war, you are involved in that war. Now, you might not be directly involved in it, but you are indirectly involved in it, which still makes you involved in it. Yep. 2-point scenarios. Ukraine, Russia. Now Ukraine is crying, talking about Russia is now attacking from the southernmost border, and they can't hold them off there. Y'all just got $65 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time you trying to tell me that you left the southern part exposed, you didn't know that was part of your war. You all of a sudden it's like, oh shit! Now they're starting to. We fortified up here. Now they're starting to attack from down here. We need more funds so we can secure down here. This is a never-ending war, and we're funding it by continuing to keep sending them money to either prolong what. I don't know, but it ain't going to be to win nothing. But we're part of that war.
I don't believe that they're actually fighting a war in Ukraine anymore between Ukraine and Russia. I've been saying for a long time, and I'll use the $65 billion as an example. Biden sent $65 billion to his buddy Zelensky. Zelensky wrote him a check for $65 million off the top.
Billion.
Zelensky got a check from Biden for $65 billion.
Yeah.
10% of that, 65 or 650 million, went to Biden. How it's going to get there, I don't care, but it went to him. It was a kickback for sending the money. Out of that 650 million, Zelensky held back some of it that went to Putin, because I will say this on every Boogie with the Bull broadcast as long as I can, and even when I'm fully into dementia and I can't do it anymore, I believe that if Putin wanted to end that thing, he would have ended it as quickly as he started it, but he's not doing that because he's getting paid off somewhere to just keep doing it, to keep, Zelensky, he's not spending the money anywhere other than you see him riding around in brand new black BMW sedans with
buying yachts and mansions
and buying yachts and mansions that aren't even in Ukraine anymore, which means to me, he's already ready because he knows as soon as it's done, he's going to get exiled for life from Ukraine. So he's had to invest and build up wherever he's going to go. Or maybe it'll just be like Saddam Hussein when we when he was executed and we started going into all of his palaces and finding the pallets and pallets and pallets of cash,
well,
we took it back.
and then you have Israel and Hamas.
Yep.
Now this is the second time. This is the second time that Joe Biden, if you keep it in the same context, the same terms, this will be the second time that Joe Biden has put a quid pro quo on one of our alleged allies. If they don't do the things and operate in the way that we want them to operate, they're not going to get what they need to do what they need to do. First, it was, if you don't fire the prosecutor who's investigating Burisma, which my son is part of, you don't do that shit, you ain't getting the $1 billion. Now he untold Israel and Netanyahu that you ain't getting the arms that you need to precisely pinpoint Hamas, rather than take out innocent people, unless you do what we say. So this is the second time he's telling our alleged allies that we're not helping you unless you do it our way.
I am convinced beyond the shadow of a doubt that Trump's national security people that are just itching for him to have the Oval Office back are in phone calls with Netanyahu as often as they need to, because Netanyahu and Trump and Israel and the United States are such great friends that Joe Biden is not going to be able to destroy that allyship.
They know it's a policy problem, man. They know it's an administration problem.
In his wildest dreams, he's not going to be able to end it. And I'm starting to believe more and more, because people keep asking me in messages more and more, do I think that Ukraine is just a money laundering scheme? That that Biden is sending $65 billion dirty dollars and somehow getting back $65 billion clean dollars, or some portion of it is clean. And the next time he sends,
well, look, if you send $65 billion and now you get reports that you losing, what use was? I'm supposed to hear reports that y'all gaining, that y'all moving towards more positive. Why are they putting money down a well that? So the only thing I can do is allege or assume that money is getting distributed like it has been done. I can only go off past history. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do, is judge you by your stripes from the past. So
I just think that it's we changed speakers from McCarthy to Mike Johnson, who said implied that he was going to run the House majority the way the House majority should be run. And I'm going to quote your actual factual words. I don't remember how far back. He's just another rhino. And until we have a speaker in the House with a Republican majority who is going to stand up and do what's right, we're going to, if Biden wins, we may be stuck with him for another 4 years, unless they find something that he can. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there, but unless they impeach him on something specific that's going to send him to jail for life and make him have to resign, and at the same point make Kamala Harris do the same thing, because I don't believe that Kamala's going to walk away from this thing. That she might become president in Biden 2.0 because he resigns. I don't know, because there's probably just as much stuff to nail her on. People say elder abuse and all this other stuff.
Man, they're all going to Joe Biden. They're all going to be charged.
That she had to be in. Right. So, I don't.
This is the
I
thing.
don't.
What's their next play after New York comes back not guilty? That's the key.
Pull Joe Biden. Probably pull Joe Biden. Whoever, well, Kamala has the authority to use the 25th Amendment. She just has to hope that the cabinet who votes, I don't know, I don't believe she gets a vote because it's a conflict of interest for her to be able to vote on it. But
She
the
has
cabinet,
worse numbers
the
than Joe
cabinet,
Biden does.
right, but that's not the point. They would probably want to remove Biden, put her in there till November. With her understanding, she's probably not going to get reelected. I mean, she's not going to get elected president because I don't
So
think
why
the
would they
Democrats
even?
want
Why would
her
they let the?
as
Why would?
their.
So you think they would go full blown out on their base, give
I think
her
they
a
go
taste
full
of the
blown out.
presidency and then pull it out
I
from
think
under
they
her?
would go. I think they would go full blown on her to do that between now and November, only because they know she can't defeat Trump. They're not going to run her against Trump. They're going to run somebody else who they think, whoever it is, Gavin Newsom or somebody that they think actually has a chance of defeating Trump in whatever hell they're in. I don't know, but or alternate reality that they're in, I don't know. And then she's gone. Well, he's gone because we impeach him, and it has to be on something that the Democrat Senate can't say, no, we're just not gonna take this up. It's gonna be serious enough that they gotta take it up and they gotta approve it. And he's gone. Then, like I said, they sit Kamala in between now and November, because I don't know what happened. I don't think we would ever impeach both of them at the same time, and the Democrats definitely wouldn't want them both impeached at the same time, because if they are, then it brings Mike Johnson, even though he may be a rhino, it brings Mike Johnson in as president until the November election. The Republicans are not going to drop Trump and run Johnson, because there's no way Johnson could defeat even the best Democrat they could find. And America doesn't want Mike Johnson to be president, I'm sure, anyway. But
well, I don't know what the Democratic strategy or the Democratic playbook is, other than try and destroy Trump by any means necessary, because they know that if it's left up to a legitimate vote, because this is going to be one of the most highly scrutinized, highly anticipated, highly watched elections in a long time. In a long time.
They set the history for what future elections will be.
If the scenarios, just say the same scenarios or somewhat scenarios take place like the last time, the American people ain't having it. Oh, there was some pipes busted out there and some shit like this, or there was this lady that pulled out briefcases and now we don't know why. Oh, the American people ain't gonna have that shit. Not this go around.
That shit shouldn't have happened last time, but you have to figure that whoever the county sheriffs were where the votes were being counted in the counties and and throughout the state had to be in on it also, because security was breached when Republicans were told get out. The people that told them to get out didn't have the authority to tell them to get out, but we left. But there's ways. I'm hoping there's ways around this. Randy and I talked about one morning. You can lock the doors in and out. You can have it set so that if there's an actual emergency inside the building, then you can open the doors. But the doors are on a time lock. It's like my brother works third shift at Target stores in Massachusetts, and starts he starts at 11 o'clock. They lock that door at 11 o'clock. If you show up at 11:01, you don't get in. You got the night off. Whether or not you get paid, I don't know, but you got the night off because you weren't there. Same kind of thing. If the vote counting is in shifts and you work the 11 o'clock shift, you know that you need to be in there at 11 o'clock. And the people that are leaving because your shift started at 11 o'clock are going to be out of that building by 10:59, because at 11 o'clock that door is locked. And if you're still in there when you're not supposed to be, you're in trouble. And if you're not in there when you're supposed to be, then you're in trouble. I mean, it just seems stupid to me that even once the Democrats got in there and had control and hijacked these rooms, they thought trucks and cars showing up with briefcases and boxes and duffel bags, as opposed to locked ballot boxes from voting machines with properly attired people in properly attired vehicles delivering them to their, everybody always, everybody noticed that, they stopped counting votes at 1 o'clock in the morning, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, Biden had more votes. Biden won by more votes than people voted in the election.
That was a quick that was a quick turnaround, and it was
right.
too obvious.
Right.
But what I love to see, and what I'm hearing more and more, and these are Democrats. These are and this is even starting to become mainstream media, but I don't think too many people are paying attention to it. They're starting to say some key things to let you know that Biden is really in trouble, and one of them don't have an answer. Well, they don't have answers to either one of them. The first one is they're continuing to ask, why does Trump continue to gain support with Americans? That's one. Why does Trump continue to gain support with Americans? They're not going to American asking why. They're just saying why, and then they're calling us.
Can I jump and guess what I know Trump's answer is?
No, I don't. I'm not giving. No, I'm not. Let me finish. Let me get a second one.
Okay.
The second one that they're asking is, what can Biden do to change the course of his numbers? So they're letting you know that Biden is not doing good just by letting you know, by asking, what can he do to change the course? Now, change the course means go in the other direction. So they know that Biden's going in the wrong direction. And they're all talking about things that are not going to ever happen. So they're basically conceding the fact. They're talking about he has to close the border. Never gonna happen. They're talking about all of the shit, everything that he changed, he would have to go back and reverse, and he's not going to do any of that. So there's really nothing he can do.
Right.
And even if he tried, the American people would know by now, after 3.5 years, you all of a sudden going to change these things, thinking we could see. American people ain't stupid. So that's
right.
And it's not part of the agenda, so he's not going to do it. They've been saying screw us for a while, and they'll continue to say screw us until we say we've had enough.
Right. But President Trump has been very vocal, regardless of where those rallies are, whether they're in the heart of a blue state or they're in the wild applause in a red state. He's been very vocal, saying, I am doing this and going through all of this so that I can show you that if this is really how they feel about Americans, you need to understand they're going after me because I have the money that I can play this game with them until I win the November election. And then my Department of Justice will no longer be weaponized, except it will weaponized to a political party. It'll be weaponized to the American people. We're going to go in together. We're going to crush all these people for all this crap that they did to America. Not just me, but to America. Then the next thing, well, we're kind of in one of those, getting near to one of those weekends right now. Everybody tells me the gas prices have always gone up as you go into a holiday weekend. I remember the exact opposite. I remember gas prices going down because everybody, they knew that everybody was going to go travel, so gas prices would drop. Our gas prices here in Middleburg dropped from $3.28 a gallon at BJ's to $3.16, and they'll probably go down a little bit more before Memorial Day. On the Biden side, he needs to get them back down to probably, I guess, to maybe think that people in Florida will vote for him. He's got to get gas prices down to where they were 2 years ago when we moved, 2 years ago when we moved down here, down to at least $2.93 a gallon. He's probably got to get it back down closer to $2 a gallon, because it was $1.83 when he took over. So he's got to do that. He's got to drop the idea of getting everybody to park their fossil fuel vehicles and go electric, because the electric grid can't handle it, and everybody knows that it can't handle it. Probably has to send home the bulk of the 50 million illegals that came in through Mexico that show no viable chance of being allowed to ever have stepped foot in the United States of America. Or just send them all out, take them all out, send them back to Mexico, and one by one have them apply like they used to, apply to come in seeking asylum or to become a citizen, and then wait in Mexico until it has gotten back to them. Yes, you can now enter the United States of America at a legal checkpoint, and we will take you through that process. Otherwise, screw it.
He's not going to do none of that.
He can't finish the wall, even if he wanted to. He can't finish the wall between now and the November election. He just can't do it.
He can't do it because he ain't in control.
Well, he can't do it because Congress, who had the money and got the money, never did it. Plus, part of it, from the way I understand, is it will not. Look, the Trump wall, if it went up the way Congress paid for it, is not a complete wall, because there are portions of Indian reservations on the border, and the Indians have the right to say that wall doesn't cross our reservation, our property. So there are a whole lot of variables that need to be addressed, but the bottom line is he's not going to make any attempt to finish the wall. He's not going to make any attempt to increase border security.
No.
He wanted to give 80,000 IRS agents guns, thinking that if they knocked on people's doors, they were going to write the checks for whatever taxes that they owed, rather than sending 80,000 more agents down to the border to help the thousands of agents down there already at least do a better job of protecting us where the border is not secure, and wouldn't have thrown out Title IX, would stop doing capture and release.
There's an issue I want to address real quick.
Okay.
For all of you Americans out there that are thinking America ain't got no money, y'all have been deceived along with that, along with everything else. It's like you a kid and you get good grades in school and all this, and every time you go to your parents and you ask them to buy you something, a video game or pair of shoes that we telling you they ain't got no money, but yet they going out to dinner or they going on a vacation or something like that. If America ain't got no damn money, how can we afford to send $65 billion over to another country? If America ain't got no money, how can we afford to send 100 billion over to the Middle East? If America ain't got no money, how can we give these illegals an average between, now there's 11 million, we're gonna just say 11 million. How can you just go give 11 million illegals food stamps, Medicare, and damn it, anywhere between $2,500 and $5,400 that Americans ain't getting? If America's that broke, that ain't America being broke. That's America choosing to do what it want to do with the money that they take from us.
Right. But the other side of that also includes that Nancy Pelosi once said and hinted around, the House has more money than it will ever need, because once money is given to them in their budget, and then they take that money and put it into whatever it's supposed to be spent on. If it's not, that just goes back into the House's general fund. That's why Donald Trump, I'm sure, has been saying for even the 4 years that he was president, we need to do a complete audit on the House to know where the money is that was earmarked for specific things that was never spent on those specific things. And if it was not spent on those specific things, it comes out of the House general fund and it goes back to the United States Treasury.
This problem, the House is just part of it. I'm talking about overall, in general, as people thinking America broke. America ain't broke. It's all about how America chooses to spend your tax dollars and which direction they choose to go in debt. That's it.
Okay.
That's all. The money can be spent a lot wiser.
Yep.
Can you imagine the lives American? Can you imagine the lives of American citizens as a whole could have if you took all of these hundreds of billions of dollars back from these countries, put it into America? You eliminated these illegals, took all. They said it's like up to like $111 billion.
Oh yeah.
So if you took that money,
it's trillions
and
of
put that
dollars
back. Oh my goodness. Americans would be living, wouldn't have the home. It's all about how they spend the money. So I just don't want Americans. Well, America ain't got no money. I get I fell for that too. It's how they spend.
When people like Elon Musk talk about universal pay, Americans being paid, just getting a check from the government for the rest of their lives, that's not anything crazy. It's you've paid so much in taxes in your life. The government now has that money, spent that money. If they had spent it wisely, they would have made enough. You, as a shareholder of the United States of America, you're going to get a monthly dividend check for the rest of your life. And I'm not talking about a couple of $100. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. But that whole thing's never going to happen. If we had taken all of the money in the couple of centuries that the United States has been around, almost three centuries now, and it actually spent all of the money to update and keep updated the electric grid here in the United States, if everybody wanted to have an electric car, great.
Well, electric cars,
they'd be able to turn it on at the same time.
Yeah, let it be optional, but don't make it man. See, that's the thing. Don't make nothing mandatory. Don't push nothing down. Don't force nothing. That's what taxes. You don't force it. That's when it makes it authoritarian. That's when it makes it just not right. Give people the option. We know
I
you can
see.
only go but so 100 miles on an electric vehicle, and there's just not but so many rechargeable outlets. So basically, well, shame on the people that go strictly electric. You can't travel. Don't buy an electric vehicle and then bitch and complain about it. You know you're limited.
Shame on Tesla. Shame on Tesla. Musk builds the largest supercharging station in the United States. I forget how many are there. I think there's 100 chargers. The damn place burns diesel to make electricity to charge your car. Imagine the amount of diesel they burn to make electricity to charge your car. To me, that just tells me, why the fuck, excuse my English, don't I just go buy a diesel vehicle? Mercedes-Benz makes a Mercedes-Benz Blue Tech diesel is one of the best diesel vehicles I've ever driven. Upkeep on it is not any more expensive than anything else. It's just as nice. As they get older, they don't click and clack like the older diesels do. And what, for the same price as you're going to buy that maxed out Tesla, $80,000-$90,000, you can buy a really nice Blue Tech diesel Mercedes, and diesel would probably be down to maybe $2 a gallon, as opposed to what it is right now.
I don't know. I don't mess with diesel.
Well, I had to, only because I flipped head over heels. I had the chance to lease a really nice Mercedes that just happened to be diesel, and I didn't care. I wanted it. I wanted it that bad. I had customers who wanted to ride in it that bad. That
there you go.
That that was the only reason I went after it. But to me, it's like I said. He's burning, I don't know how many gallons of diesel every day to run the generators that generate the electricity for the 100 cars that can charge there one at a time. And I imagine he could probably have cut that down to maybe 25 at that one and built 3 more a reasonable distance away, so that there are more charging stations for those people who want them. But I mean, to me, force the country into them when you know that the grid can't handle it. As you said, there aren't enough charging stations. The repair costs on the car are way out of line. You have a battery that has like 6,000 cells on it, and if one cell goes bad, the whole battery doesn't work. It costs you probably $200 an hour to have a Tesla technician, after they lift that battery out, check all 6,000 cells to find the one cell that doesn't work. That repair job is something like $15,000, $20,000. God forbid you have to put a new battery in it. That's like $30,000 on a car that you maybe spent $30,000 for.
Not me.
They did something in a different direction than Toyota did. When Toyota bought out the Prius, I actually respected their plan. Their plan was that the batteries in a brand new Toyota Prius generate the electricity for when it's running as a hybrid, last for about 6 years.
Right.
When it's time to replace them, the retail cost is about $6,000. Most people weren't going to do that. You got about 6 years before you had to do it. When it came up, most people just traded the car in, which still had a pretty decent trade-in value, and bought another one. Then all of a sudden what happened was families were so happy with their Prius that I'd buy one for me, and when it was time to replace the batteries, I'd spend the $6,000, replace the batteries, give it to my wife, buy a new one for me.
All right.
When it was time, and then it was a whole big chain where, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't see electric vehicles as the reliable way.
Well, go. I mean, if they put up a charging station parking lot every 100, 200 miles and made it convenient, I can see us rolling around like the Jetsons. But until then, hey, I can't see it. But for those who do, don't complain.
No,
Enjoy it. Have
right. I
fun.
mean, right. If you
But
want to go to
I gotta bounce out of here.
okay. All right, William. Always a pleasure. I'm glad you came along. We salvaged this from being I don't know how it would have turned out
Hey, it turned out great, like it always does, man.
broadcast. It did.
And and
It did.
and
I
I'm
appreciate you
glad
being here.
there wasn't nothing too tragic or too sad that we had to bring this morning. So,
No, everything. I think we actually did pretty good.
and
I
shout
think
out
I
to
actually
Randy
did pretty good this
Rose
morning.
and Jen
Shout out to Randy
Human that couldn't
Rhodes.
join, and
Yeah.
everybody
Well,
out there.
yeah. Randy Rhodes couldn't join us. He advised me early this morning that he was sick, so he was going to stay out this morning. Jen will be with us tomorrow night. Part two of her discussion with Robert Angel Little, the Romanian who, after the Romanian Revolution, came here to the United States. A little further with that tomorrow. And on Thursday, not sure yet who is going to host it, but it may be me. It may be me and Jen. It may be me and Jen and one other person. I don't. Joe Burlak, who you all know from Divinity.com and all of the holistic health approaches that that Joe posts about on Facebook every day and on the Divinity.org website. We're going to talk about the frequencies that you hear. And if you have a set of tuning forks, you can tune them to certain frequencies that are actually beneficial for you to just stop what you're doing and listen to the tone and let its soothing powers. I think I'm wrong, but listen to its soothing powers, and parts of your body will feel better. We'll also talk about your diet, because there are still a lot of people out there on the internet that seem to tell me that if I changed my diet, I could possibly reverse my dementia. I don't know if I believe that it can be reversed. I believe that you can slow it down. But, I don't know. And I don't want to get into a battle with big pharma over medications that people take, only because I get in trouble for it anytime I talk negatively as far as Facebook or YouTube is concerned about the vaccines. They either squelch part of a broadcast on Facebook or delete a broadcast on YouTube. And until I'm somewhere where I feel I can talk freely and have guests on that will talk freely, I don't want to do much of that. But Joe Burlak will be with us, and we'll talk about a whole lot of good stuff that you want to listen. I've interviewed Joe before, and Joe is fully aware of the changes and declines in my life. So maybe it may just be me and Joe, and anyone who wants to watch, that will be Thursday at 7 p.m. Like I said, Tuesday, 7 p.m., Jen and Robert Angel Little talking about the Romanian Revolution, and then Robert coming to the United States. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. I hope Randy Rhodes and William and any other that want to join us are with us. And then Thursday, like I said, is Joe Burlak, and either Jen and I or just I. And Friday, it's the gangbang, for lack of putting it better. Red Friday morning caffeine, hopefully with Bonnie Johnson. If Bill Muckler wants to drop on, he is more than welcome to drop on. Randy Rhodes, myself, Jen, William, if he is available. I think that gets us up to 7, so there might be one more if someone else wants to be a part of that broadcast. That's Friday morning, 10 a.m. to whenever it ends. Usually it ends about 11:30. We all base it usually on what Bill's schedule is on Friday when Bill has to depart. We'll either continue on, or sometimes we'll all pull the plug as well. So go out there and make it a great day. Like I said, it was in the upper 70s. let's see. Weather. Actually, weather right now is 78 degrees, mostly cloudy. Feels like 84 outside. Winds 10 miles an hour east by southeast. 84 degrees is the predicted low. High. 67 degrees is the predicted low. So I don't think we're going to drop to 67 degrees tonight. Today, maybe tonight after dark. But 0% precipitation, 64% humidity. So it's not too bad. Ultraviolet rays are moderate 4, whatever that means. We'll have to look into that. Maybe get a weather person to come on and talk with us one day. But anyway, go out there and make it a great day. Don't spend all your day inside, caged behind your desk. I'm the wrong person to tell you that. I don't have anything today. I get out of the house tomorrow, Wednesday, for physical therapy and occupational therapy and all kinds of other therapies. But I want to go up and thank Andy Ryan Hasselbart for watching Mike Grant, the owner of Guns Unlimited in Dublin, California. Mike is a certified weapons dealer and instructor, and he can sell you a gun. If you don't live in California or you can't get to Dublin, California to pick up the gun, then the gun has to be delivered to a certified weapons dealer in your state, and you have to go in and show that you have a permit or can get the permit for those weapons before you can pick up the gun. That's the law. Don't like it, talk to Mike. But Mike Grant also is the person that sent me the video. It's, I think, just under 2 hours from Yuma, Arizona, from his trip 2 weeks ago. It's posted in the Hardcore Conservatives group, and it's posted in Red Patriots for America. I will get it shared into the other groups today. I will get it probably posted on my profile. You can get it from there. Swelling down, Jake Trevor Music, thank you for watching. Mike Grant again, me, David Nobar. Dr. David Nobar, computer technician, was watching. Don Lose started the broadcast off. And that means in the great race of who's watched the most, William Grant or Danny Campbell, they are both still tied until one of them watches the podcast or the next live broadcast. Like I said, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Jen Woodruff talks to Robert Angel Little, more about life in Romania, the Romanian Revolution, and moving on to Robert coming to the United States. And then, like I said, Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., Randy and I for Morning Caffeine, hopefully with William and anyone else that wants to join the broadcast and be a part of the fun. Then Thursday, like I said, it may probably be just me and Joe Burlak. I have a big interest in the stuff that I'm going to talk to him about, so I can probably pull most of the discussion off if Jen can't join us. And then Friday, like I said, Gangbang Friday morning, Red Friday morning caffeine, the whole Boogie with the Bull team, all at once, and once for all. Wrap up the week, tie a ribbon on it, support Red Friday, and help you get this weekend started. Anyway, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And that's all I got to say on that. Equal time is given to responsible parties with opposing views. That means if you read something in the live chat that you didn't like, as long as that person is willing to come on camera with you, the two of you get an opportunity to discuss it and see if you agree to disagree. One of you agrees with the other or whatever, but we give you that chance. In the almost 5-year history of Boogie with the Bull, nobody has accepted that. So, either nobody disagrees and equal time is not needed, but we're going to keep offering it as long as we can. Looking for things to do on Facebook. Join the Hardcore Conservatives group. This is a relaunch of the original group. We will not discuss what happened with the original group, but this is a launch of the original group. The original group had 1,500 members when it launched 6 years ago. And when it came back near the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, I forget, I think it was 245, because we had cleaned it out and we were rebuilding it. Now it's 35 and growing, so join that group. That is a public group. Red Patriots for America is a private group, and you have to get approved or get invited to join Red Patriots for America. Anyone on Facebook is welcome. You do not have to be a conservative patriot. You do not have to be a Democrat. You do not have to like Facebook. You can hate Facebook. You can hate me. You can hate everything in your life. I really don't care. But if you come across articles of interest to conservative patriots that might either tick off Democrats or the same, you're more than welcome to join both groups. And if you want to be what I call a serial drive-by poster, that means you post in all of our groups. If you produce a broadcast of your own that you post as a podcast, we would love to have it in the group. If you do a live broadcast, we would love to have it in the group. The only exception is there are broadcasters that do different broadcasts aside from political broadcasts. Some groups don't want the outside other non-mission of the group broadcast posted in there. So it's the same in our groups. If you're going to hit us with something way out of left field that has nothing to do with the mission of one of our groups, the admins and I, or the group owners and I, will probably decide not to have your broadcast in our group. And it's only because it takes away from the flow of the group, and you have to understand that. Not being mean to anybody, but I get tired of hearing that one. Oh, you don't post my broadcast in your group, so why should I post them in yours? Well, don't. And if you post a Boogie with the Bull broadcast in any group on Facebook that you are in and the admins ask you not to, then please don't. If it's a political group and you don't, and you get asked not to post it in there anymore, let me know the group and I'll go talk to the admin and see if they agree with me that it's just news, entertainment, and coffee, or news, entertainment, and caffeine. Nothing harmful. And if they want, they're more than welcome to join us on a broadcast and have the same amount of fun we do. Anyway, it's been an hour and a half. We're not going to make it to an hour and 45 minutes. That's okay. I really didn't think we would make it more than an hour. So I want to thank William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab Uncensored, all over the internet. If you want to know, he is all over the internet. And everywhere he can be for free, and some places even if he has to pay for it. That's the sad thing, that we have to pay social media networks to let us be on their social media networks, because Facebook doesn't charge us. So, maybe that's an example. Just let us post on your social media network if we can. And if people want to watch it, they will. And if they don't, they don't. And in the beginning, when I said, I take Boogie with the Bull broadcasts that tend to be an hour, hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, and post it as a tweet, the most I've ever had, I think, was 4 people actually watched it. And that tells me that of the trillions of people on X, those that might support Boogie with the Bull and those that don't, the odds are that a lot of people aren't going to take a tweet that is an hour, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours long, and watch it, because they're not interested. So for now, that's the best way we can get it on X. And if you want to watch it, please do. And if you do and you support it, then retweet it all over Twitter. If not, You understand. No hard feelings. Anyway, Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. And Double B said it's going to come to an end this time. Like I said, next one is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Jen Woodruff along with Robert Angel Little for the history lesson of life in Romania before the Romanian Revolution, continuing on with life in America. That will be the history tomorrow night, the entire broadcast. Hopefully Randy Rhodes and William Rayfield return with me on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. for morning caffeine. And Thursday night, Joe Burlock, Berlyak, Burlyak, Joe Burlyak. Look him up. You'll see the link to divinergy.org, his website. Go over there and take a look at it. And a lot of what I'm going to talk to him about is the idea of having tuning forks that are tuned to certain frequencies. And if you listen to the tone, the vibration that comes off of those tuning forks, positive things can happen to you. And I'm very interested in that. Facebook is sneaking a whole bunch of these into my reels lately, along with some just plain garbage that no one on Facebook should be watching. And I'm starting to watch them and listen to them. And I'm bugging Joe all the time about, does it really do this? Does it really do that? So we're going to have an interesting conversation with Joe Burlak from divinergy.org Thursday night at 7 p.m. And then we wrap the week up 10 a.m. on Friday with Red Friday morning caffeine. Anyway, I'm Dave Wilburn. You're on second Double B for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. 1 hour and 36 minutes. Not bad. If you liked it, please press like. If you did, then share it in any group on Facebook that you can. We appreciate that. You can share it live. Let's see. I think it showed for the first time. It did show for the first time. No, it didn't. It's recounting the live views right now. It'll show it in a few minutes. But anyway, I'm Nick Wilburn. You're like, wow, they're making a great day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.